Hello, YouTube. It's Chosen the Destroyer, and we are going to watch the new Death Battle Wile Coyote versus Tomcat. Grab your snackies, grab your bevies. Let me know what you're eating or drinking down below. Who do you think is gonna win? Unfortunately, I feel like Wile Coyote. I'm gonna be honest, but let's see what happens.
Wile Coyote, the fastest and furriestest of the Looney Tunes.
Tomcat, the powerhouse pussycat from Tom and Jerry.
The fans voted for it and we're here to deliver.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Also, I totally grew up watching both of these. Old cartoons are wild, man.
In tales told over a shimmering campfire by the tribe's people of North.
No. And the only reason why I say no is because this is giving Are You Afraid of the Dark vibes, and that scarred me as a kid. So no.
North America, there was no figure so cunning, so bold as Coyote. To the Miwok, he was a Prometheus who stole fire from the heavens to give to humanity. To the Sewetmuk, he was a foolish trickster who could die and return to life.
And to the brothers Warner, he's just a poor dumb schmuck who can't catch a break.
To this day, the great Coyote.
All right. I'm not reading all that, actually, now that I am looking at it. Wow. Ethelbert Coyote? I'm not reading that. Okay.
Stalks the American Southwest, hunting his indefatigable prey, the Roadrunner. And this modern Wile
Okay, eternally hangry. Most loyal customer and occasional employee of Acme, inspired by Mark Twain and pre-1949 chase cartoons.
Coyote is driven by a ruthless entrepreneurial spirit.
Yeah, and it drove him straight off a cliff. He'll chase that bird-shaped happily ever after to his own inevitable undoing. Such is the lot of the common man.
You might not expect it from an anthropomorphic canine Job, but Wile was born the son of world-famous hunter Cage E. Coyote. His father raised him from infancy to hound his avian adversary and forbade him to speak until he tasted victory. On the face, an easy task.
Wile Coyote occasionally speaks, most commonly in his crossovers with Bugs, but is largely silent by Cage E's instructions.
Coyotes are incredibly adaptable predators, capable of hunting in both rural and urban environments.
They're also speedy little demons. They can sprint at up to 43 miles per hour, though that's cold comfort when that blue meeping bastard can make beams of light look stone still, or outrun a car that was moving fast enough to travel through time.
Frankly, it's incredible that Wile manages to consistently keep up with his prey at all, but he does.
No, really, it's actually stated that only a, quote,
It's about here that the Roadrunner puts on that tiny little extra burst of speed.
Keep up with his prey at all, but he does.
No, really, it's actually stated that only a, quote, tiny little extra burst of speed separates the Coyote and the Roadrunner. Heck, Bugs Bunny himself needed to.
Bugs once manually filled the Grand Canyon with a normal shovel within seconds, a feat over 57,300 times faster than light.
Burst of speed separates the Coyote and the Roadrunner. Heck, Bugs Bunny himself needed to take super speed supplements in order to move fast enough to outrun Wile.
But almost as fast isn't fast enough. Fortunately, Wile's got an endless assortment of gadgets, gizmos, and reams of blueprints to make up the difference.
Pull out Keystone, Rock follows Roadrunner, Roadrunner crushed. Ha ha!
He's got your classics like dynamite, anvils, and spring-loaded boxing gloves, along with heavier artillery like heat-seeking missiles, a 10 billion volt electromagnet, and a friggin' trebuchet. Okay,
alright. Conventional weaponry, explosive firearms, bow and arrow, cannons, harpoons, slingshot, crossbow, catapults, grappling hook, club, alright, laser gun, katana, batarangs, heat-seeking missiles, chainsaw, flamethrower, net gun, blasting power, etc. Tools, magic paint, rope, giant magnets, quick drying cement, grease, glue, tar. 100. Is that an 8 or a B? 10B? Volt electromagnet. Magnifying lenses, suction cups, chemistry set, flypaper, computer, laser pen, trampoline, radar gun, curling supplies, infrared night view binoculars, etc. Special equipment. Jesus Christ. Decoy, dehydrated boulders, disintegrating pistol, integrating pistol, invisibility paint, magnetism gun, mecha coyote, sleeping gas, lightning bolts, book of magic, spray, giant spray, molecular transporter, satellite laser, zero gravity spray, monsterizer and demonsterizer, fire and ice rays, weather control kit, clone-o-matic, time gun, portal tech, shrink ray 1000, lightsaber, instant roadrunner and coyotes, roadblocks, universal remote, time travel remote, portable phony hole, hunger gas, hypnotic, clarinet, Pied Piper's flute, straitjacket, bazooka, instant girl, loony DNA dissolver, etc.
A 10 billion volt electromagnet, and a friggin' trebuchet, a Reddit favorite.
Many of which he
Consumables: triple strength fortified leg muscle vitamins, high speed tonic, earthquake pills. Okay. Bounciness potion, mutation potion, super speedy pellets, nitro vitamins, vehicles, rockets, UFO, motorcycle, steamroller, jet propelled pogo stick, and unicycle, rocket cars, helicopters, airplanes, jetpack, spy car, flying broom, monster truck, magic carpet, etc. Apparel: jet propelled tennis shoes and roller skates, various disguises, Batman suit, Batman suit, Iron Man suit, cactus costume, hawk suit, bouncy shoes, magician outfits, etc. Miscellaneous: unfoldable door, fake leg, grand piano, drone, Green Lantern ring, etc.
Volt electromagnet, and a friggin' trebuchet, a Reddit favorite.
Many of which he invented himself and uses in excruciatingly detailed schemes that inevitably go awry. Despite being a self-described super genius, Wile has an officially measured IQ of 3.
That's the same IQ as a cactus.
Okay, the test results were fake, but he's still an idiot.
So why not let a soulless corporation do the hard work for him?
Acme sells any product that you can imagine, and Wile is their most devoted customer, contributing up to 99% of its multi-billion-dollar revenue.
Thanks
Where does he get all this money? Where does he get his money?
for the inherited wealth, Pops. Oh, don't worry, I'm spending
inherited
it all
wealth.
in one place.
He's got an Acme Book of Magic, Acme Clone-o-matic, Acme Death Ray, Acme City in a Box, Acme Universal Remote, which can pause, fast forward, and rewind a person through time.
Too bad half the stuff Wile uses is intentionally sabotaged, because Acme's board of directors is exclusively Roadrunners. My man cannot catch a break,
Rude.
but he sure can take some punishment.
No matter the severity
I just realized. Hold on. Okay.
Man cannot catch a break, but he sure can take some punishment.
No matter the severity of his failures,
Here,
Wile
let
is
me
still a Toon
get this for you.
Thank you so much, Anonymous, for the gift that's up.
and can bounce back from just about anything.
He's been sliced, stabbed, squashed, exploded, melted.
Okay, Toon Force. Yep. Okay. Regeneration, shifting, elasticity, immersion, non-physical interaction, fourth wall awareness, exemption from physics, weather manipulation, transmutation, magic, levitation, size alteration, hypnotism, exorcism, teleportation, possession, intangibility, manifestation, time travel, duplication, sealing, erasure, and many more.
Bounce back from just about anything.
He's been sliced, stabbed, squashed, exploded, melted, blasted into a constellation, and overall verbed for the last 87 years straight, without ever actually dying. He once got fully disintegrated into ash and popped back up like it was nothing.
Similar to the immortal Coyote of Sewetmuk legend.
He's also shattered the fourth wall tons of times and even left the comic page entirely to catch the Roadrunner. Ah, so close.
Believe it or not, there is actually a biological reason for these abilities. Loony DNA. Every Toon's got it, not just the loony ones. And it's what lets them survive.
In addition to Daffy's survival of... Hello? Livy, thank you for the... Oh, Jesus. Thank you for the raid. Welcome, Raiders. Hello. Hold on. Welcome, everybody. Yeah, go get food. Food is important. Okay, in addition to Daphne's survival of total erasure on 2 occasions, other tunes like Furball have regenerated from soul destruction, and Bugs has returned from informational destruction in Space Jam: A New Legacy. I did not watch the second Space Jam.
Looney DNA. Every Toon's got it, not just the loony ones. And it's what lets them survive fatal damage up to being fully erased off the page, essentially dictating their personal slice of reality to whatever is funny.
Like how gravity only affects the Coyote when he looks down.
Toons are immune to the law.
As we have seen, the laws of physics do not apply to cartoon characters, especially if they know better. Looney Tunes, the ultimate visual guide. I'm still mad about the Wile E. Coyote movie that was apparently super good that just got canceled because, you know, in WB being shifty.
Of physics as we know them.
That's why Wile developed a counter to this immortality, the Looney DNA Dissolver, which leaves Toons vulnerable to fatal wounds the same way we are. Yet again, so close. You can't say he hasn't tried everything.
It was Wiley's experience as a veteran Toon that landed him a job at Acme Looniversity as department chair of the School of Hard Knocks, teaching up-and-coming Tiny Toons how to use their abilities.
Okay, so Naruto.
And just like Naruto's jutsus, Toon Force works like an actual power system, with more experienced Toons like Wile who are more powerful than their young.
What is that show? I have not heard of that one. Is that a Tiny Toons reboot show? Is it bad? Tiny Toon Adventures? Okay.
Actual power system, with more experienced Toons like Wile who are more powerful than their younger counterparts.
And that means Wile should be capable.
Listen, this is entirely off the subject. There was a new-ish, God, what is it's like Bugs Bunny, but like the Bugs Bunny universe. Which I guess you're gonna say Looney Tunes, but it was specifically Bugs Bunny, Daphne, Elmer Fudd, that group. That was really good. I really liked it. I used to watch it all the time. It was sometimes the reboots are good, I will say. I haven't seen the Tiny Toon one though.
Of replicating feats and abilities performed by any other Looney Tune, like traveling between different mediums or altering the plot of the cartoon he's in.
Yeah, I think it was the Looney Tunes show. But it was I don't know, it was Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck lived in a house together, and Daffy Duck was kind of bumming off Bugs, and Lola was there, and she was kind of an airhead, and she was Bugs' girlfriend, and yeah, that's the show. That show. Okay, great. Looney Tunes show. I legitimately enjoyed it. And it had some great moments. I love that show.
Like traveling between different mediums or altering the plot of the cartoon he's in.
And my favorite was the time Plucky Duck used Marvin the Martian's matter transmographer.
Okay, universal feats are common even for weak tunes. Elmira Duff. Yeah. Survived the end of the universe. The Warners caused a big bane, and Plucky once pulled a new universe from his pocket and unfurled it at 1.9 quintillion times light speed.
Cartoon he's in.
And my favorite was the time Plucky Duck used Marvin the Martian's matter transmogrifier to suck up the entire universe.
And then suck up the animator animating his universe.
And then suck up the animator's universe for good measure.
Wile's got a cushy 10-year job teaching that stuff. Impressive for an abject failure at his life.
All right. Feats. He blew up the sun, grew the size of a planet, turned into a constellation twice, survived an impact the size of North America, withstood smashing a portion of the moon, matched Roadrunners and immeasurable speed, scored on the moon stars and Monstars and Don Cheadle. Scored on the Monstars and Don Cheadle. Confused me so much for a second. Hunted Roadrunners, Bugs Bunny, Marvin the Martian, Energizing Buddy, and Geico Gecko.
mission. He's helped stop a meteor from destroying Earth, beat the Monstars in basketball, and even, oh snap, caught the Roadrunner! Oh wait, never mind, so damn close!
Technically,
According to
caught him.
1977's Tweety and Sylvester issue 67, Wile E. Coyote has attempted to catch the Roadrunner 4,766,842 times.
Jeez.
Scaling to the present, that's over 10 million failures.
That takes dedication, or maybe self-destructive stubbornness. Too blinded by bird lust to see the forest for the trees.
But Acme's intentional malfunctions and Coyote's recklessness don't account for all of his catastrophes. There's something else, something grander, otherworldly, standing in the way of our furry friend's salvation.
Wiz, there's no other way to say it. God is just plain out to get this guy.
And by God, we mean the closest thing that exists for Coyote and Roadrunner. Chuck Jones.
The guy that created him and helped forge the Looney Tunes into how we know him today.
Originally meant to be a parody of earlier chase cartoons like, well, Tom and Jerry, Jones established several rules for their animated
Okay, the Roadrunner cannot harm the Coyote except by going beep beep. No outside force can harm the Coyote, only his own ineptitude or the failure of Acme products. The Coyote could stop anytime if he were not a fanatic. Creepy? Whatever. A fanatic is one who redoubles his efforts when he has forgotten his aim. No dialogue ever except beep beep. The Roadrunner must stay on the road, otherwise, logically, he would not be called Roadrunner. Okay, that's good. All action must be confined to the natural environment of the two characters, the Southwest American desert. All materials, tools, weapons, or mechanical conveniences must be obtained from the Acme Corporation. Whenever possible, make gravity the Coyote's greatest enemy. The Coyote is always more humiliated than harmed by his failures.
shorts that superseded Coyote's reality warping Toon abilities.
Rules that cover his obsession, faulty products, and the
While other Looney Tunes creatives like Michael Maltese have asserted that they were unaware of these rules, Jones himself outlined them clearly in his autobiography.
fact that no outside force, not even the Roadrunner, is to blame for his defeat. Just him.
While other creatives have altered this formula in the decades since Jones's departure, these rules have effectively made the Coyote's defeats cosmically ordained.
God nerfed Wile E. Coyote. In all our years making Deathbattle, we have never seen a handicap like that.
But what else can you expect
Dang.
from our fanatical furry fail son? He's the Sultan of Slapstick, the CEO of Second Place, the swing and a miss superstar. As long as he picks himself back up and dusts off the ashes, that'll never be all, folks, for Wile E. Coyote.
I
The
do
year
have
was
water.
1939. War raged in Europe between the British Tommies and the German Jerrys. As the beleaguered English made their miraculous escape from the German encirclement off the coast of Dunkirk, one might have called the battle a game of cat and mouse.
Oh wow, is that actually where their names come from? I'm looking this up.
Regardless of their names' origin,
Thomas D. Jasper Cat. I didn't know his name was Jasper. British short hair inspired a certain rubber pirate. Let's see. Portrayed by 11 voice actors, there are satellites named after Tom and Jerry. It has a lookalike cousin who is scared of mice, filled in for Alice in Wonderland, Sherlock Holmes, Wizard of Oz, and more.
William Hanna and Joseph Barbera's infamous cat and mouse duo became the undisputed kings of slapstick comedy.
The formula is simple, and we all know it. Tomcat chases Jerry Mouse around the house. Brutal, bone-shaking, I felt that in my balls. Violence ensues, and Tom is reprimanded by Mammy Two Shoes.
Across Tom and Jerry history, Tom has been under various households and owners. Such, these owners can be used to identify the era of their cartoons.
Who is, let's say, very much from the 1940s.
And
Yeah.
all you wanted to see was Tom wipe that smug smirk off that little rat's face. Despite my well-documented hatred of cats, even I've got a cringe.
You got a problem? You got a problem with cats? Do you not respect them? Cats are fine as long as you respect them.
Years of propaganda to convince us to side with the filthy, flea-ridden rodent over man's second best friend. Oh, big yawn.
House cats like Tom are actually some of Earth's most successful predators. They can run up to 30 miles per hour, leap 6 feet high, and despite being commonly perceived as nocturnal, they're actually crepuscular and hunt in the dawn and evening.
Tom specifically is a British shorthair. They're strong, stocky Roman cats bred to withstand harsh conditions. And for Tom, harsh conditions is an understatement.
Tom has collected a crazy assortment of weapons in his war against mousekind. Sure, most of it is the
All right. You ready? Okay. Conventional weaponry, boomerang, boxing gloves, household objects, gardening equipment, construction site gear, mining tools, improvisational weaponry, parachutes, ice skates, wrecking ball, monoculars, baseball bat, butterfly nets, cat toys, detour sign, fireworks sticks, frying pan, glass cutter, lead pipe, rebar, kitchen appliances, wheel skates, etc. Wartime supply. Okay. Bombs, tear gas, gas mask, swords, rapiers, pistols, shotguns, machine guns, landmines, dynamite sticks, gasoline barrels, cannons, miniature rocket, sonar, radar, a comical amount of other various firearms and explosives, etc. Special equipment, anti-dog spray, horseshoe magnet, vanishing cream, invisibility potions, invisibility ink. Or no, yes, ink. Poisonous potions. Rewind remote, magic lives potions, smart cap, ogre tooth, wishbone, spring tonic, extra potent vitamins, genie lamp, laser cannon, magic painting, lightning bug, stat boosting perks and potions, fairy star, magic ring, etc.
stuff you can find around the average American household, like baseball bats, lead pipes,
And guns! Lots
And
lots
guns.
of guns. But he's got
Wood. He got wood, y'all. Okay. Clubs, saws, hammers, mallets, spoons, beams, finisher, fishing pole, etc. Magic wand and book of spells, transmutation, object fusion, levitation, flight, size manipulation, poofing spells, water creation and manipulation, electricity creation and manipulation, flying daggers, snowstorms, magic reflection, trader's curse, etc. Vehicles, cat car, cat jet, robocat, remote control rocket, biplane, car, truck, motorboat, etc. Apparel, knight armor, rocket boots, spacesuit, flying suit, jetpack, any disguise he wants, etc.
lead pipes,
and guns! Lots and lots of guns. But he's got wackier things like a magic wand, a robocat, vanishing cream, and a smart cap that gives him all the knowledge in the world.
I'm partial to the Sword of Light and Dark, which severs you from your own shadow, or the Rewind Remote, which can move your victim backwards through time.
And you can't forget the cat car and cat jet, spelled with K.
I feel like these are newer versions of the cartoon that I just haven't watched. I've watched a lot of Tom and Jerry cartoons. But, like, there's definitely some newer ones that I'm like, I don't recognize some of this.
Of course, but just the cat part.
Tom's are
And Tom and Jerry, the Fast and the Furry. The cat vehicle sliced through Australia, destroyed Mount Everest, swirled the Atlantic Ocean, closed the Grand Canyon, and destroyed the Great Wall of China.
personal is
Okay.
heavily improvisational, which fits his quick thinking in fights over Thanksgiving turkey. Though he often loses his bouts with Jerry, it's not usually because he's dumb or incompetent. Rather, he's just genuinely outplayed.
And even in defeat, he's one tough son of a gun. He's been crushed, blown up, had every bone in his body broken, shattered, melted, and vaporized to dust, and survived.
Well, mostly. Tom actually has kicked the bucket multiple times, but little known cat fact, he has 9 lives, as established in the episode Heavenly Puss.
Oh, Wiz was conducting some different kind of research when he
Shut up.
stumbled on that episode.
Very funny. Even if Tom starts to use his lives up, he has a potion that just restores them.
Or he can physically go get them back from hell. Where all cats go.
Extremely hardcore for a Toon.
Miss me with that. I don't recognize that episode. Okay. Toon, force, hammer, space, electricity, elasticity. God. Physics exemption, shape-shifting, regeneration, cloning, teleportation, fourth wall awareness, manipulation, levitation, and flight. Elemental manipulation, extreme temperature resistance, whole movement, imagination actualization, non-corporeal interactivity, sentient art, soul scarring, reality warping, 9 lives, dimensional travel, and many
But
more.
there isn't much of a limit to what Tom can do. He can clone himself, levitate in the air, make his imagination real, and even break the fourth wall and enter the real world.
Yeah, if you only watch the classic cartoons from the 40s,
If you is, or if you ain't my baby. That's the only part of that song I remember.
you may be in for a shock. Tom and Jerry gets buck wild, much like the actual inspirations for their names. Thank you, Google.
Oh, you're still on this?
Dodoy Whiz. They were actually named after the two characters in Pierce Egan's delightful life in London, Jerry Hawthorne and Corinthian Tom. It was adapted to the stage with the title Tom and Jerry, which later became a catch-all term in 1800s England for young, drunken rabble-rousers.
One could, in fact, say that many rabbles were roused the times Tom destroyed a planet-busting asteroid.
Okay, Feats. Lifted the sun, obliterated a planet-busting asteroid, ruined several countries with his vehicles, dodged lightning and laser, ran past 2 exosystems, launched into space by an explosion, took Jerry's punishment for over 80 years, defeated Jerry, Butch, Droopy, and the Abyss.
Lifted up the sun and was blown up into a constellation. And he was just fine. Just a bunch of stars now, but he's okay.
He taked an explosion that launched him through time to the Stone Age and has run through space at massively faster than light.
Tom scales to Screwy Squirrel and Droopy, having defeated the latter in Tom and Jerry the Magic Ring. For the Game Boy Advance? Alright. Droopy was superior to a criminal that outran the animation reel strip. Screwy Squirrel was fast enough to be in 2 places at once mid-combat.
Launched him through time to the Stone Age and has run through space at massively faster than light speeds.
That shouldn't be a surprise when he and Jerry have been at each other's throats for over 80 years now. But what may surprise you is the fact that at the end of the day, they're actually friends.
And they've worked together tons of times to save the day, like when they helped a little orphan girl, Robin Starling, find her way home.
I do vaguely remember this movie. Couldn't tell you anything that happened in it. I know they talked in it. And I think there was a steamboat.
Oh, that's a nice end to their story.
Don't you believe it? Now is when we have to talk about Tom and Jerry Chase. Long ago, the warrior god, Lord of Sichuan, Erlong
What?
battled the tricksy and indomitable Mouse King atop Peach Mountain, leading the goddess Celeste to declare the two
The Mouse King and Erling? I don't know what that word is. I don't know that text. Erlang? Whatever, Shen are 2 god-level figures with the highest combat power in the 3 realms.
strongest warriors in the realm. And they were, in fact, Tom and Jerry. They were even stronger than Devil Tom.
Devil Tom used all his strengths to build a protective barrier for the Abyss, but ending up sealed by the darkness.
Repelled corruption by the darkness. This mysterious, malevolent force threatened to consume the Tree of Life,
Erlang,
whose
okay.
branches encompass all of time and space. Banding together,
What is this?
these warriors use the star element to dispel the darkness and save the universe.
What the fuck?
Well, it may sound completely insane.
There's little to suggest that the Tom and Jerry MGM multiverse contains an infinite cosmos within it. However, the Tree of Life must at least encompass the heavenly abyss and earth realms, as the darkness threatened all of Chase's worlds.
It is. Chase is a Chinese mobile gacha game whose lore is not entirely in keeping with the spirit of the source material.
Garrett, what? Tom and Jerry got a Chinese mobile gacha game with crazy fucking lore? Okay. Why not? Why not? Sure.
However, it
Thank you for
is
that.
officially licensed by Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment, which means we have to include it in our research.
So that the gods may grant.
What are you gotchaing? Different versions of Tom and Jerry? Different characters? What are you pulling for? I'm so confused. Okay.
Us mere mortals some heavenly push.
No!
Friendly rivalry aside, though, Tom has actually managed to catch the little rat fair and square a few times.
By my count of the original shorts, 19 times.
I could watch him on repeat forever. Too bad he's still a filthy feline. The only kitty I truly respect is named after booze.
Well,
I'll fight you. Let it be known.
then you're in luck, because the Tom and Jerry of English literature later became the namesake for a famous Christmas cocktail.
Because there's no better way to get absolutely trashed than with good old Tom and Jerry. Guess what? Deathbattle has merch now.
That's right, Boomstick, and you can pick some up for yourself on our brand new website, deathbattle.gg.
Just click the merch tab at the top. We've got mugs, stickers, shirts, and more.
I'm partial to the official researcher's notebook.
Okay. Who do you guys think is gonna win? Hold on, let me put up a poll. Okay, chat thinks Tomcat's gonna win. I personally, and I've been wrong before, and it doesn't really matter. I think Wile E. Coyote might win for the simple fact that the only things that can hurt Wile E. Coyote is basically himself. Like, that is the rule of Wile E. Coyote, is like his own ineptitude. That is my personal opinion, though. So we're gonna see what happened.
Promise it's not a death note. See, it says so right on the cover.
Sure.
Not a death note.
There's also exclusive merch for website members, like my beer cooler, which keeps
But-
beer nice and cold.
I mean, you are right. He could sabotage himself. That is like kind of the whole vibe there, right?
And I guess theoretically other beverages too.
Then there's
You cannot say the only thing about Tom. Tom gets hurt by outside forces all the time. He can get hurt by the dog, whose name I don't remember. He can get hurt by Jerry all the time. He can get hurt by a random person, another cat, whatever, in the episode. Wile E. Coyote can only be hurt by his own ineptitude and the Roadrunner going beep beep. That is literally the rules of Wile E. Coyote.
the limited time game over team, which won't be available much longer, so if you
I think it's like Butch and Spike. I think one's like the puppy, right?
Back for updates.
I don't know.
Picking up
I
an
don't
item or
remember.
two really helps support independent Deathbattle, so we want to say a big thank you to everybody that's already placed an order.
head over to deathbattle.gg and pick the piece of Death Battle swag that's right for you. All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
House Mouse. Asshole of Lucius. Victim. Meepus, Meepus. Heinous Schmuckus. Fight! Ow. Dang.
Come on, you apes! You want to live forever!
Hmm. fat lady. Yep. Yep. Both of them. Well. The blood splatter, I feel like, wasn't needed.
Wile E. Coyote, super genius.
I was surprised.
Oh, thank God one of them actually died this time. I mean, no! Animal cruelty, no!
Considering coyotes eat cats, I'm not surprised.
Oh, why did you show me that? Coyotes do. They also scream. It's really upsetting.
Coyote were incredibly powerful. They weren't literal gods who could snap their problems away. They had limitations and weaknesses that could be exploited, especially by each other. Let's first talk their stats.
Both were strong enough to contend with universe-threatening phenomena.
While the Tree of Life encompasses at least 3 finite universes, the animator's universe transcends Looney Tunes as a whole, which encompasses an infinite universe, the Seververse, and millions of timelines.
But comparing Wile to Plucky Duck, Looney Tunes can not only destroy their own universe, but their animators as well.
And while Tom could move faster than light, Wile
Even outside the scaling to Roadrunner, Wile outdoes Tom's quantifiable speed feats. His massively FTL feats are more numerous and impressive, and he scales to low tier tunes like Plucky, who are faster than anything in Tom and Jerry, even accounting for Chase.
could keep up with the Roadrunner, who could outspeed a car fast enough to travel through time. That's immeasurably fast, and much faster than Tom. Wile gets the edge in stats.
Wile's arsenal was a bit better too, believe it or not. Even eliminating the devices that have been shown to malfunction, he still countered everything Tom had.
The biggest
Even inter-exit medium transmutation duplicate. Okay, they're even on those things. Advantage Tomcat. Trader Curse ensured Acme Gear would fail, and Smart Cap increased intelligence and odds of winning. But Advantage Wile was better regeneration. Full Erasure is better than like Ashes. Magnetism countered Tom's tech, including the Smart Cap. More varied time manipulation could seal souls, countering Tom's 9 lives and various forms of mind control.
being the Looney DNA Dissolver, which could render Tom's cartoony healing factor moot and end the fight.
While Tom has never been shown to have
Okay, the Looney DNA Dissolver can suppress regeneration greater than Tom's that functions similarly to his. The official Warner Brothers Twitter account has even stated that Tom and Jerry meet the criteria for being loony and toony, suggesting they would be vulnerable to the Dissolver's effects.
Looney DNA specifically, the concept clearly has nothing to do with actual DNA molecules.
Looney Tunes have been erased completely and still returned, so it's clearly something more fundamental to their essence.
And since the Dissolver works works on any Toons, not just the loony ones, it should apply to Tom. But considering how much of a screw-up Wile is, it wasn't a sure bet. Hell, it could have backfired, especially considering how much more competent Tom is.
When it came to intelligence, Wile's engineering and scheming genius were often defeated by his own ego and stubbornness. Tom, on the other hand, was consistently more flexible, pragmatic, and victorious in his fights. He definitely gets the edge there.
Oh, and Tom has one other big advantage. He doesn't have God nerfing him.
And that's the big question. Was Tom capable enough to benefit from Wile's narrative-enforced bad luck and see the DNA dissolver backfire against him?
That bad luck is a core part of Wile's character as a cartoon. So let's call it his, Toonliness.
To find the answer, we dug deep through the bowels of Looney Tunes lore and ended up in an unexpected place: Space Jam.
Where Wile yet again fails against the Roadrunner, but against the villains of the movie, the Monstars, he actually scores.
And scores again in the sequel, more than anyone else. But according to Chuck Jones's rules, that shouldn't happen, right?
Throughout his entire history,
Acme also plays a substantial role in Wile's failures, potentially even having a hand in all of them. In Cartoon Network's Acme Hour TV spot, he immediately caught the Roadrunner by simply using a generic brand equipment.
Wile's cosmically ordained failures only occur when he's specifically chasing the Roadrunner, or other Toons the plot bends around like bugs, because that's what Chuck Jones's rules were written for: Coyote and Roadrunner cartoons.
And even then, looking closely, they've been broken a few times throughout the decades, even during Chuck Jones's tenure.
Without the universe nerfing him, there's no reason to think Wile couldn't eventually land a hit with the Looney DNA dissolver.
Especially when the only reason it failed was because of the Roadrunner's intervention, a direct violation of Chuck Jones's limitations on the Coyote.
And especially when it's the only thing that either one had that could kill the other.
Despite lacking Wile's narrative impediments, and despite having a better track record overall, Tom ultimately had no surefire way to
This is how Tom and Jerry ends. If you know, you know.
kill Wile, whereas Wile's superior strength, speed, and looting arsenal ensured his victory.
Wile gave one hell of a chase and left Tom Jones in for a rematch.
The winner is Wile Coyote.
Next time on Deathbattle.
Spider-Man? No? Yes. Specifically Miles Morales? Oh, Miles Morales versus Deku. That's what we're doing. Anyway. Yeah. So I was right. Yay. Yeah, I don't know. Based off the rules about Wile Coyote, that's the only reason why I was like, I think Wile will win, personally.